Nearly 2 years ago, Mercedes Fernando, aka Mercedes Moné, FKA Sasha Banks, walked out of WWE on a Monday Night Raw and never came back. Mercedes has since never uttered a single word of what happened that night in John Laurinaitis' office. Until now. Mercedes tearfully breaking her silence. Listen for yourselves, then we'll come back and talk all about it.
You know, I really believe in not only the universe, but I believe in myself, and I believe in such a higher power of light that comes over me. Okay? Something inside of me told me I needed to go do this and stand up for myself. It was a very hard decision because wrestling and WWE has been my whole life. If people don't know, it's been my whole life. And it's the hardest decision I've ever had to make in my whole life. But it's the most proudest. It's crazy because I would not be sitting here living the best version of my life and getting to be everything I've ever dreamt of.
Wow.
I get to be everything I ever dreamt of and more. You have no idea. And it makes me so excited because that moment changed my whole life for the better. I'm so thankful for that moment. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud of Trinity. I'm so proud of just how strong we were. Because like you said, everybody wanted to talk about it. Everybody wanted to act like they were in the room.
Negatively though, there was not one positive.
I don't know that. I just know that everybody acted like they were in the room or worked there or were backstage or knew what happened or knew what said. But all I know is that I handled it like a CEO, like the boss that I am, with my head held up high. And I can't say nothing but amazing things to WWE. I'm so thankful for the career that they gave me, the fans that they gave me, the life that they gave me, the dreams that they gave me. So many dreams. And I got to chase and live them all. I get to do, so much more.
Amazing.
And like I said, I have a lot of unfinished business in wrestling in a lot of places.
Wow, so that's a lot to unpack by Mercedes in tears, reminiscing about her time in WWE, but you got to believe that's a mixed bag of tears, right? The difficult road in WWE, and then what she hopes is a much clearer path in AEW, where she is about to debut in just a few weeks. So that's a lot of emotion going on within Mercedes Fernando, Mercedes Moné, and that's a lot to unpack. Let's just listen, or let's discuss. You already listened to it. Let's discuss just some of what she says. When she says, I believe in myself and I believe in such a higher power of light that comes over me, something inside of me told me I needed to do this. I needed to stand up for myself. Let's just stop it right there, right? That's a quote. That's what she said. Something told me I needed to do this. I needed to stand up for myself. That tells you something massive, something very drastic happened that night in John Laurinaitis' office. For them to feel the need to stand up for themselves. Now, I believe it was a bunch of culminating factors that finally led to that night, at that moment, in Laurinaitis' office. And whatever the big issue was, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. But I believe this has been kind of stemming for a while. This is not the first time that Mercedes was just not happy with WWE and how she was being treated when she was clearly the common denominator in everybody's greatest matches. She was that good. She is that good, but never got the proper respect. She was never put on that same pedestal as others, like Charlie Flair and others. But that was one of the biggest issues for Mercedes and WWE, is feeling like she had so much more to offer, but WWE wasn't taking her up on the offer. They didn't realize it, or they just didn't care. And for Mercedes to, as she is now finally opening up about that night, say, that was the moment I had to stand up for myself. And for Trinity to feel the need, because she's a sweetheart. No, there's never been a bad word uttered about Trinity for sure. And for her to feel like she had to stand up, like she's had enough, makes you think perhaps we'll never know the details of that night. But damn, it was big enough for these two ladies to say, we're out. It feels like it's much bigger than just booking decisions. But Mercedes goes on to say, and I quote, "I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud of Trinity. I'm so proud of just how strong we were. Because that moment changed my whole life for the better." And she says everybody wanted to talk about it. Everybody acted like they were in the room. They acted like they worked there. They were backstage, or they knew what happened, or they knew what was said. But all I know is that I handled it like a CEO, like the boss that I am, with my head held up high. So she talks about the backlash that occurred subsequently. After that decision was made to walk out, there was immense backlash. And it's such a double standard, right? Because when the boys do it, when the dudes walk out, we're ready to throw them a party and a parade, right? Yeah, get out of there. WWE wasn't treating you good anyway. You deserve better. Go over to AEW, right? You hear things like that. But when the ladies do it, it was absolute ridicule, absolute annihilation. Everybody had something to say, like they're not company ladies, right? They're not sticking up or standing up or being united with the company. They're going into business for themselves. You don't understand. These are independent contractors. They're not employees. If they were baristas at Starbucks, perhaps this is a different conversation. These are independent contractors. You have to care about how you're booked. You have to care about the path that the company has you on, because then and only then is it going to benefit you and in return benefit the company. So I'm glad she touched up on that, just the backlash that came with it. Like everybody had something to say about it, but you have no idea. In that room, in that moment, with everything that culminated to that point, they felt it was in their best interest and in return probably for the company if they just leave now. Interesting. Mercedes then goes on to, and this is where she breaks down basically in tears, not basically, in tears. She says, "I can't say nothing but amazing things to WWE. I'm so thankful for the career that they gave me, the fans that they gave me, the life that they gave me, the dreams that they gave me. So many dreams." And here's where she's really tearing up. "I got to chase and live them all. I get to do, so much more. Like I said, I have a lot of unfinished business in wrestling in a lot of places." So it ain't just going to be when she shows up to AEW in a few weeks. It looks like there's something in her deal where she will still get to wrestle in Japan and maybe wherever else she wants to. But with 2 years nearly going by, you get to hear her say she doesn't come across as bitter, right? After 2 years, even though it was volatile and it was to the point where she had to walk out, so that's not a good thing, obviously. And while she says some nice things about WWE, she can probably give you an entire book or series of books on all the negative in that company, but she chose not to. Time heals all wounds. You got a big night coming up, the debut in AEW in a few weeks. So she takes the high road. And she talks highly of WWE and thanking them and the fans for what she has now and what's about to come in her career. So that's smart too, because we've seen a lot of the tribalism. So when a WWE wrestler goes to AEW or vice versa, the other side's fans will really be upset, right? And there's a lot of backlash and ridicule. Edge can tell you all about it. One of the most recent dudes to jump over to AEW, and man, does he take a lot of heat still to this day. Cody Rhodes still takes heat to this day. Cody Rhodes is still feeling the heat from AEW fans that feel he jumped ship. And he never should have done that. But so there's going to be a lot of people upset with Mercedes going over to AEW. But again, these are the decisions that she feels she has to make. And unlike Trinity, going back to WWE was just, she wasn't ready to do it, And we heard there was talks. It came down to money, and HHH just didn't want to pay her a much higher price. She was only asking, from what we were hearing, equal pay to like Charlie Flair. That should be no problem. She's more than worth it. Again, she's everybody's common denominating best match. She's the common denominator of everybody's best match. You're not going to give her at least what Charlie's making? They've been putting Charlie Flair on the side of the trucks, the 18-wheelers, on all the promotional ads, the marketing, putting her in the main events of WrestleMania, putting her with 12, 14, 67 championships already in just 9 years. And she still can't connect with the majority of the audience. But you're not willing to pay one of, if not the best female wrestler on the planet, Sasha Banks, Mercedes Fernando, Mercedes Moné. You're not willing to pay her equal pay? So HHH dropped the ball immensely in this scenario. But the fact that she was willing to listen to the offers and she knew her price, and if that price was not met, no, she doesn't feel right about coming back. She was not going to take anything less because she still probably has she's probably up in her feelings about a lot of things. And she's still not, for Trinity, she's got Jimmy over there. So that was a big deciding factor of going back and being with her husband. But with Banks, she was dating the little, what do you do with it? The costume guy. What do you call that? I don't know. He was sewing everybody's costume and what do you call that? Crocheting or what? I don't know what he was doing. But she's married to the costume guy for WWE. Is he still there? I don't think he's still there. That would be awkward, right? If all this happened with Mercedes and this dude stuck around. I don't know, man. But the little husband guy was working with WWE making costumes. So maybe if he was that, then it would be like a Trinity situation. Then she would have to go back to see her husband, not have to, but that would be a big, I don't know, man. Listen, she felt that absolutely not. And unless you show me the first sign that you're willing to meet me halfway and treat me better in this company, the very first sign is just give me equal pay to people like Charlie. That's all I'm asking for up front. And if that wasn't met, then I'm already seeing that not much is going to change. Anyway, wild, man. That's a lot to unpack. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this upload, man. Sasha Banks, this is a pro Sasha channel, always has been. It was founded upon Bray Wyatt and Sasha Banks, right? When I started this channel, those were just the two names that were, I don't know, they just captivated me on a whole nother level. And unfortunately, man, the last couple years for Bray Wyatt, obviously, we won't tap into that, but much love and respect up high to Wyndham. And then, of course, what happened to Sasha nearly 2 years ago and walking out. So I was like, well, all right. All right. As far as that goes, but this will always be a pro. It will always be a Bray channel. It will always be a Sasha channel. And if that means Mercedes Moné, then such is. This is a big, big first step of just trying to find out anything that happened that night and just what Mercedes was feeling that night. What was she thinking? And she finally opened up tearfully. Pretty big. All right, guys, until next time, there will be that next time. BC in the unit saying check you. Do all the things down below. Smash the notification bell, all of that good stuff. Because with 30 days before Mania, I'm going to be unloading a lot of content to you guys. So you always want to be up to date.